What's up, lead gen beasts? Matty Guys here, Leads for Locals, and in this video I want to talk about how to analyze your Facebook ads performance, what numbers to look at, metrics, etc., so that you can determine whether or not you need to make any changes to it, and also what changes do you need to make. Is it the targeting? Is it the offer? Is it the ad? Right, so we're going to cover all of that. So make sure you stick to the end. Just hit the like button for me if you find the video helpful. And check out the links in the description. I'm going to have a bunch of additional training on Facebook ads and all that stuff. And that'll help you out. All right, let's rock and roll. So we're going to use a current campaign that I'm working on, working with a client on. And it is in the retirement planning industry and life insurance. So if you're looking for Facebook ads in that industry, I have an entire system on that. Built, it's called ALGM 2.0. Got an entire marketing CRM built on GoHighLevel, plus it comes with the Facebook ads, so you can check that out in the description if you want. But you can see here, we're doing pretty good. You know, we're generating retirement leads for about $5 a pop, and then general life insurance about $6 a pop. But what I want to focus on is this campaign right here. So we're going to go down to the ad set because we're actually split testing two different types of ads, ad campaign setups. And so right off the bat, obviously, one of the main metrics we want to look at is what is our cost per lead. And in this case, we're using lead forms, but you can do this with landing pages as well. But you just want to know what your lead costs are. That's like the first metric. So right off the bat, I could tell which ad set is better, right? Obviously, because I mean, we've got one that's generating leads at $3.30 a pop. That's those are my campaigns here. You can see Leads for Locals. And then the other one is a different company that he wanted to test. And it's at $25.54 per lead. And you can see that we spent just about the same amount of money on each ad set. So we're split testing two different setups to see which one would do best. And now, granted, this is just one test. It doesn't mean that this other company and their ads aren't good or whatever. It just might not be the right fit for the audience. Like it might be the offer or whatever. That's going to kind of be what we're going to look at right now. And one test certainly doesn't determine, you know, if something is good or bad necessarily. You want to continue testing. But if we're looking at the metrics right here, I mean, right off the bat, you know, same amount of time running the ads, it's pretty much the same exact ad spend. We're doing $15 a day. You know, it's pretty good, right? It's not bad. So $3.30 per lead versus $25. Obviously, that is a very big difference. So if we're able to generate, if we know what we're able to generate leads for on a regular basis, that kind of gives us a framework to work off of, because if I know I can generate leads around here, around this cost per lead, anything like significantly above that it's not always going to be like, you know, this cheap. But, you know, maybe in this case, anything over like $10 per lead is going to be kind of like a red flag, like, hey, something is going on here. So what we want to do, let's dive into this more and see what's going on with this particular ad set and compare the two. So the first thing you want to do is always make sure that you're on performance and clicks. Okay, that's what we want. So we're going to scroll over, and the next metric I look at is actually the CPM, because this is basically how much it costs to show your ad to 1,000 people. And you can see there's a pretty significant difference. So, but now again, we're kind of painting a picture here. We're bringing all this into, like, putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. So what's interesting is we're actually targeting the same, I'm pretty sure we're targeting the same audience. Yeah, because I duplicated this. But you can see that the difference in the CPM cost. A lot of your CPM cost has to do with the engagement you're getting on your ad campaigns. So the more people engage with it, they like it, comment, share, follow the page, click on it and become a lead, Facebook rewards that by lowering your cost per impressions, per 1,000 impressions. So engagement is really, really key. Now here's how you could tell. One of the ways you could tell that your ad campaign is getting a lot of engagement. This is a very important metric that I look at. It's the CTR, link click-through rate. We're not really concerned too much with the CTR all. That is a good metric, but it can be a little misleading sometimes. I don't really use it. But the CTR, link click-through rate. This is basically people clicking on the actual ad, clicking the Learn More button, or if you got a URL in the ad copy, whatever, they're actually clicking, in this particular case, to open the lead form and potentially get more information. And my kind of base minimum is 1%, maybe 0.9% if we're getting if our lead cost is good conversion rate on the lead form, but 1% is kind of my minimum. So look at this. It's at 2.3%. That's insane. Anything above 1% is kind of a bonus. But I mean, if you get above 2%, you're putting the right offer in front of the right people. You've got a good ad, because otherwise people would just be ignoring it in the newsfeed. They wouldn't be clicking on it like this, right? So this is a very important metric to look at. Anything less than 1%, we want to start looking at testing different potentially audiences. Usually what I'll do is I'll test a different offer first. In this particular case, I know that the offer that we're running works really good. It's a free like life insurance guide or checklist or something like that. I'll tell you guys, for generating leads on Facebook, guides and checklists or some type of free masterclass or whatever, those types of lead magnets work really, really good on Facebook. So if you're struggling with your ads, I would definitely take a look at the offer and test a couple of different offers first. If that doesn't work, it might be your targeting. So our targeting, I've got training on this in the description, but our targeting, sometimes I do multi-layer targeting, sometimes I don't. Again, we test different audiences. And, I would say it's not too difficult to find audiences or like create audiences on Facebook, because you could just start typing in basic interest. And then if you click on the suggestions box here, I'll open this up here really quick for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. So, let's see if we scroll down. Okay, yeah, so in this case, we're doing whole life insurance, just insurance interest. And then parenting, right? So we're trying to get in front of parents, and we're excluding, financial advisors, life insurance agents, etc. So, but there's not really necessarily any magic to this. It's just you got to understand your audience, what they're interested in. Start typing that in, and you can use the suggestions box, the suggestions tool right here, to find other interests that you can target. So, that's a one way to come up with like different audiences. Sometimes I do one layer of audiences, sometimes I do multiple layers. It just, you got to test it out, right? So, but in this particular case, this is this is working really well. Now here's another thing that we want to look at. Let's say we're getting really good link click-through rates. And actually I have a campaign running right now where I just made an adjustment to the lead form on the ad, because my link click-through rate was like 1.64%, which is really good, but the lead cost is a lot higher than it should be, and the CPM is about average. So the next thing we can look at, if we're getting good engagement, we're getting people clicking on the ad, but our lead cost is pretty high, we can look at the conversion rate of the lead form or landing page, whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the number of link clicks that we have. So I've got 25 link clicks here, and we're going to scroll over, see how many leads we generated. In this case, it's 15. So 15 out of 25 link clicks have converted into leads. That's really good. That's well above 50%. So that is awesome. But in this case, what we've got here is, so let's see how many, so we've had, there's really not enough numbers yet to determine, because we've only had 5 link clicks and then 2 leads, which that conversion rate, 40%, that's a good conversion rate, but it's not enough numbers to really determine whether or not the lead form is the issue. It's really the CPM and the lack of people clicking on the link on the actual ad, because we're under 1% for the link click-through rate here. So that's where I would come in, and I would start looking at the offer. I would look at also the images that we're using too. That can make a big difference. Like slapping stock photos and maybe a little bit of text on your image now, and that just doesn't work very well anymore. You got to get more creative. So let's see. I think that's it for the metrics. Hopefully that gives you guys an idea of like what do you need to look at? What do you need to potentially change based on the metrics? What are the numbers telling us? So again, just to recap, if we've got a low click-through rate, it could be, we need to test different ad creatives. So maybe different types of ad images, maybe a carousel ad, maybe a static video ad. Again, I have training on all of that stuff in my Facebook Ads Mastery course if you want to get that, or I have plenty of training on YouTube on doing Facebook ads. So maybe we need to look at that. There's a reason that people are not clicking on the ad. So in that case, I wouldn't really mess with the targeting just yet, unless you already have a proven offer. If you know your offer works with your audience and it's still not converting, then I would go back and see and play around with the audience that I'm targeting. But Then the other thing too is like maybe everything looks good. Maybe you have a good click through rate. Your lead cost is high. But your conversion rate's good. It might just be the audience that you're going after, like your CPM. That can be a good indication of just a very expensive audience to get in front of, especially if your engagement's really good. I'm going to guess that that's not the case here because, again, we're targeting the same people in these ad sets. So in this particular case, this is an engagement problem. But let's say I was having the same issue, like with higher lead costs and higher CPM on this one, even though I have the 2.3% link click-through rate. Now it might just be, okay, well, it's just an expensive audience to get in front of. So maybe we adjust maybe we find different interests to go after. Another thing too, I'm not a huge fan of targeting demographics. Those tend to be really a lot more expensive than targeting interest. Just keep that in mind. But maybe you play around with a couple of different interests, to try and lower that CPM, get in front of not necessarily a cheaper audience, but just the way you have your audience structured, it might just be really expensive. So those are some things to look at, guys. I hope that helps. Drop some feedback down below. Any questions? Any specific types of videos you want me to make about Facebook ads, whatever that is, just let me know. But I hope that helps. Hope you guys are crushing it, and I will talk to you the next one. Matty Ice is out. Cheers, success.